Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Not gonna lie, bro, you are not training for deen. You're probably, if I were to guess, going to the gym probably, I don't know, 4 to 6 times a week, depending on how consistent you are. Probably inconsistent, to be honest. Just doing a bunch of, isolations and machines, maybe some compounds a little bit here and there. Kind of going for the pump, getting a nice flex after the workout. And basically that's it. Doing literally zero cardio, zero functional movement patterns, zero combat, zero mobility, half range of motion. Like subhanAllah. Okay, so first of all, like before we start, what would we classify as training for deen? Because is training for deen just like going to the gym and hitting those bodybuilder workouts and like just plating a nasheed on the top and subhanAllah calling that deen and maybe wearing a kufi or a topi, subhanAllah, right? No, that's not deen. That's just kind of training like a bodybuilder and kind of pretending like it's deen, subhanAllah, respectfully. But training for deen, what was there train? SubhanAllah. Training for deen, what does it mean? What does it mean to train for deen? To train for deen means to train, honestly, it means to train to be like the Prophet ﷺ. That's what it means. Because the Prophet ﷺ is the role model and example. Right? لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ لِمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو اللَّهَ وَالْيَوْمَ الْآخِرَ وَذَكَرَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. Right? There's already been in the Messenger of Allah ﷺ the perfect and a great example for those who look forward to meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for those who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a lot. Right? قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبُكُمُ اللَّهُ وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ. Right? Say, O Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and tell them if they really love Allah, if they really love me, if you really love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then follow me, follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And subhanAllah, like when you follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, actually I want you to think about it like this. As close as you get, like this is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? So let's put him above a roof. I can't go higher, but let's just say he's at the top, and we're all the way basically down here. The closer, we can never get to here, obviously. Like we obviously can't get to the same level as Prophet. But the closer we can get to him is the higher level of Jannah that we can get to, the higher level of Jannah, right? So if we get like all the way like as close as we possibly can, then we'll get to Firdaus bid'in ta'ala, right? But if we're like all the way down like halfway, maybe we'll be like third, fourth level Jannah or something like that, right? Like, so that's really just how you want to put it, like just to make it easy for you. As close as you come like the Prophet is how high you get into Jannah. Right? And when you look at the Prophet's physique, because like these ayat are obviously mainly to follow the Prophet in deen, but also not in just deen. Don't limit it to just deen and like akhlaq and ilm and that stuff. But also, it's in every aspect of life. He sallallahu was a role model not just for deen and the rest of your life is like deen literally means way of life, right? It doesn't mean like your religion and your life and the government are all separate. No. Your deen is your way of life, right? The deen teaches us how to worship Allah. It teaches us how to take care of our body. It teaches us how to wash ourselves in the bathroom. SubhanAllah. It teaches us how to everything, right? It teaches us ihsan. It teaches us to do things in the best of manners, in any single thing in the best of manners, SubhanAllah, right? So it's not just we don't just take them in terms of like ilm and ibadah and adab, right? Not just that, but we also take him in our whole aspect of life. Deen means way of life, right? And so what that means is taking him as an example in terms of physique and strength and health, subhanAllah, because he was the epitome of health, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was the epitome of masculinity, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? And when you look at the hadith of him, obviously we know a lot of them, but just to go over, like, subhanAllah, he was known as having broad shoulders, having a broad and wide chest and upper back, subhanAllah, having his stomach never passed his chest. Apparently, he was lean, right? He had a whole he had a what is it called? A balanced build, right? A well proportioned build. A lot of the hadith mention this, subhanAllah, right? Very like dense, like he was lean, right? All these hadith, right? There's so many. SubhanAllah. I even made a video on another channel. I'll probably like link it in the description, inshallah. But if I remember. But subhanAllah, he was built not like a bodybuilder, not like a fluffy marshmallow, but he wasn't also a twig. He was in the middle. He was big, but like lean, right? And not like overly big, right? He was a warrior athlete type build, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? He was built for war, built dangerous, built dangerous. Funny, But subhanallah, like he had like like haiba. He had like a type of like presence and aura, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? When he came in, he wasn't just like some normal guy, like, but you felt his presence, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that like not only like his physical stature, but also like his, I don't know, his aura, subhanallah, right? So that is what we should be training for, and that is not going to be achieved by training like Chris Bumstead, or I can't think of any other bodybuilder from the top of my head. Any of these like influencers who have like ripped six pack and they're like in their isolations and the pump and whatever, all this type of stuff and flexing and whatever. Like, forget about that garbage, but train like for ability. Yes, the muscle. Okay, you need all of it, right? You need the muscle, you need the strength, you need the athleticism and the ability, right? You need all three, and you need like the mobility, the cardio. Like, actually, let's just put it simple. You need the 3 C's. Okay, you need compounds, right? Compounds, mainly I do like the like the body weight functional movements, right? Pull-ups, dips, push-ups. That train was quite a bit. You want the compounds, right? So those pull-ups. Oh, can't take a left. Yeah, I can. The pull-ups, the dips, the push-ups. You know, even going weighted with pull-ups and dips, because you will get an insane like physique. Like that. If you've ever seen like a weighted calisthenics athlete physique, like a weighted calisthenics physique, they're like big but like lean. Like they can like, I don't know, they just probably just different, right? Especially like those ones who are like bulked up, but like they're not like too heavy. I don't know, like the 190s. I don't know, but it depends on your height. But anyways, so that weighted calisthenics strength is like elite level strength. Like you get elite functional strength, elite like body weight relative strength, and also like even absolute strength. Because the way you think about it is this, right? If someone can do, let's say handstand push-ups, okay? Perfect example, handstand push-ups. Somebody who can do handstand push-ups or back to wall handstand push-ups, right? They can, I'm going to turn this off so you don't have to hear it. They can, subhanAllah, they can definitely overhead press a lot, whether barbell or dumbbell or whatever it may be, right? Machine even. They're going to be able to do a lot of weight in that machine. Like, no one's going to doubt that. But somebody who can do a lot of weight on the overhead press, right? Like a barbell military press, or dumbbell, seated dumbbell press, or a machine or whatever. Somebody who can do a lot on that may not be able to do many, if even at all, handstand push-ups, right? So this, like the weighted calisthenics and calisthenics transfers a lot to the weights, right? But this doesn't transfer back as much, subhanAllah, right? So focusing on those, but also like some of the gym compounds are pretty good. Like if you like bench is pretty solid. Squat is obviously, deep squat is actually a weighted calisthenics movement. Like you're literally body weight squatting, right? That is calisthenics, and then you're just adding weight. So that's weighted calisthenics. That's why even when you see people talk about subhanAllah, like the king of leg exercises, it's always squats, right? They always say, oh, squats, the barbell squat is the king of leg exercises, right? That's like weighted calisthenics exercise, right? What is like you might see like the argument about like, oh, pull-ups versus lat pull-downs, right? Bro, take the same logic, bro. Weighted pull-ups are way better, way more transferable, right? And so subhanAllah, like you see that strength like transfer into like, even like, for example, like wrestling, for example. Sometimes I wrestle like at the masjid, and like that like they can feel that it's like, okay, this guy, like he'll like just grab you with like some force. Like I remember I'll tell you a story. One time I was wrestling, back then I was like 155, I think. Actually, funny enough, I'm like around 155 right now. Probably like 153 to be honest, but back then I was around 155, and subhanAllah, I was wrestling some guy who's 190 or 195. No, I think it was 150 to 190. I think I was 150 and he was 190. So 40-pound difference, right? Imagine this. Some Hispanic kid, like big. He was a boxer. He didn't do wrestling, but like he was strong. Like, he was like big, not like fat, but like, you know, like that bulky type. Like he's strong, but like he's not like lean, right? So kind of like that. So I remember I was wrestling him. I think I even have the video on my phone. And subhanAllah, we wrestled, and he was like, I was like doing, it was like almost like a draw basically. Like we were like stalemated. I'm 40 pounds lighter than this guy. 40 pounds, bro. 40 pounds. Can you even curl like a 40-pound dumbbell? Like maybe like once. I don't know if you're really strong. But like subhanAllah, like 40-pound difference, and I'm still holding my weight against this guy. SubhanAllah. Even one of my other friends, he was like 190. Yeah, he was 40-pound difference also. I think 190 also, and then I beat him. SubhanAllah. Right? So like this strength is so, Habibi, it's a green light. This strength is like so, like it's a different level, subhanAllah. Every time I tell somebody, oh yeah, I train weight calisthenics, they're like, oh shoot, like, you know, it's like, oh shoot. Like you might even look, even if you look skinny, like you just have some type of strength. I don't even know how to like say it. Like for me personally, I don't feel like anything like special. Like I don't know. I kind of just look. I see myself lower than I am. Like honestly, with like a lot of my friends, I was I was like playing basketball with one of my friends, whatever, and they're like, "Bro, you're so strong." Like he's actually pretty strong too, but like he was like, "Bro, like I can feel your strength." I'm like, "Bro, I didn't even do anything. Like did I even touch you? Like I didn't even like I don't know do anything." But subhanAllah, like you just hold yourself with some type of strength. Anyways, going back, training to be like the Prophet ﷺ. How do you train to be like? So number one, the compounds. Number two, you need to have cardio. This is the one that like I don't know why everybody like neglects cardio. All of the health benefits are basically like for training is basically from cardio. Like it really doesn't make sense. Like honestly, like your heart and your heart health and cardiovascular health and all that type of stuff. Like what are you doing? Cardio kills gains. Like bro, no it doesn't. First of all, you dummy. And second of all, even if it does, like gains aren't life, bro. Like are you like a rat, bro? You're a gym rat. Like I think gym rat should be like a negative term, bro. Like what are you doing, bro? Just get out the gym and like live like your life isn't the gym, bro. You have a whole life, like bro. Go like provide, like get married and provide for a family, bro. Come on now, subhanAllah. The gym is not your life, bro. Just go there like 3 times a week or like work out at home 3 times a week, whatever you can, and then subhanAllah live the rest of your life, bro. Like subhanAllah. Maybe like if you're in a season where you focus more on health and training and stuff, okay, fair enough. But subhanAllah. Focus on compounds. Cardio, just do it after the workout or do it on a non-workout day, right? Even for me, subhanAllah, when I went down from 6 days to 3 days a week of training, even though I was training like, you know, weight casting and stuff like that, when I went down to 3 days a week, I think it was 3 to 4 days a week, I forgot. I remember, subhanAllah, that's when I started progressing a lot more because I was doing too much. I couldn't recover. I remember I was getting pissed off because I was training and the next day, like the next workout day, which was like after a couple of days, my numbers would not progress at all. If not, sometimes they even regress. And I was like, what the heck? And I was doing consistently. I'm like, why am I regressing? So I went down, and subhanAllah, that's when I saw myself like just skyrocket in terms of subhanAllah progress. Even one of my friends who subhanAllah, I was telling him, yo, get on like this type of, I was made him a program basically, and he took it and he saw the same exact thing. Like he was just going to the gym normally 6 times a week and like 3 sets of everything and whatever. I lowered his exercises, just do 2 sets, just go higher intensity, and subhanAllah, he started increasing like crazy. SubhanAllah, losing a lot of fat. Like I saw his transfer. He showed me his pictures. SubhanAllah, it was like Allah Mubarak, right? So SubhanAllah, going lower in that, just focusing on the compounds, focusing on the 80-20 basically. Compounds is the 20, 80 is the isolations. Cardio, focus on cardio. What I would do is you have like 2 options. Number one, actually honestly, I would say sprints or like starting to try to like long distance run a little bit, like going slow and try to going far, because I don't know, those are kind of like the opposite extreme. If you think about cardio, there's sprints, which actually to be honest is like a very like physical like power type movement, like especially like a 10-second 100-meter sprint or even less than that or slightly more than that. That's like all power and you still kind of like feel out of breath because you're using cardio also. But then also on the other hand, there's like on the other extremes like a marathon, I guess, or even if you want to think about it, like rucking, like weighted walking for like long distances, right? But I would say yeah, both of them are pretty valid. Rucking would be a lot more like the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba would likely have done that because like not even like that was their lifestyle. Like they would like have tools or I don't know, but they would travel long distances with stuff, right? And so that's basically rucking, literally, right? So subhanAllah, doing that. But long distance running is really good also because it like builds your aerobic capacity. Like it builds. Actually, I'll tell you a funny story real quick. Yesterday I was at the masjid, or I got to the masjid early, and I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I looked at the time, and it was like what was it? It was like 6:13 or something. I forgot. But basically, I had like 17 minutes or like quite a while till the Qiyamah, like till Salah time. So I'm like drinking like my water bottle and talking to my friend, and subhanallah, I was talking to him and I'm trying to keep track of the time, and I saw the time. I thought it said like 6:25, but I looked again and it said 6:35. So I mean, Salah started 5 minutes ago. And I'm walking like I'm near the masjid, but I'm like kind of far away. I like went to like the gas station like next to it to get like the water bottle. And I was like, oh shoot, it's 3:50. Yo, it's Salah time. Like I had to go, right? So I hung up and I like ran to the masjid. Like not like sprint, but like ran. You know, like I ran to the masjid for whatever, like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Like if I walked, it would take like 2-3 minutes. I ran and take like 30 seconds. And subhanAllah, like I wasn't tired. Like usually back then, like before I started doing like cardio or anything like that, I would have just been gassed and like and it's like sweating and all that type of stuff. But subhanAllah, I was like perfectly fine. Like actually, I did feel my breath a little bit, like, but like I wasn't gassed out. SubhanAllah, right? And so I was like, bro, like just little stuff like this. Like I could run for a little bit when I had to like go somewhere real quickly without like dying. Is like so useful in life. Like I can't believe I like lived all my life without like doing cardio. SubhanAllah. Literally only like back in December. Yeah, like January, December. Like the highest I've ever ran, the longest I've ever ran was 1.5 miles. Imagine that, 1.5 miles. I ran, and I was light. It wasn't like I was fat. Right? I've never been fat in my life, but subhanAllah, 1.5 miles in 6 months, and this will probably be another video I talk about. I go over, which is in 6 months, like literally a couple weeks ago, I literally ran half a marathon. Like spontaneously by accident. Like I actually meant to run like 7 miles, but I just pushed my limits and hit 13.25. Right? So, but like the point is, you can increase, and there's a lot of like newbie gains you can get from cardio. And honestly, it was not like, oh, I was training 3 times a week. I was literally running like once a week, if that, bro. Honestly, I was actually kind of being very lazy. For the very beginning, I was kind of inconsistent, but I was near the end. I was just doing like once a week, maybe like twice a week if I felt like it. Like I would just go on a spontaneous run. But subhanAllah, so easy. And when you realize like for running, you don't have to running. Okay, like you think of running, you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna run like moderate speed and fast, whatever. Like no, bro, with running you can start off really slow and just go far, and it's actually really fun. Honestly, it's actually really fun to go on a run. You get to like talk to your friend or listen to a podcast. You're going at a pace where you can still talk to like your friend. Bro, I was talking to my brother on that 13.25 mile, like the half a marathon. I literally went I was like talking to my brother for like 40 minutes or something like that. Like he called me while I was on the run. I was just talking to him, right? So it's really fun. It also builds your aerobic capacity, and I found that my mile time has gone quicker just training that, because of my cardio was the bottleneck. I went from I think 7:07 or something to now I'm at like 6:12. Alhamdulillah. Which is pretty cool. I want to get to below 6 minute mile. But anyways though. We talked about compounds, talked about cardio, and then combat. Obviously, training a combat skill, you want to be like actually dangerous, and be able to protect. Right? If you want to get married, you're gonna have to protect your wife. Right? And even not even just your wife, but like your family, like those around you. Protect yourself, right? With whatever it means, right? With literally whatever it means. Obviously, like if you're in a country or state or wherever you live like that, you can have like a gun, then that'd probably be best, honestly. But also having a combat skill, like striking or grappling, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, BJJ, any of those. It's like important to have those, inshallah. But yeah, basically, like, and then I'm sorry, I almost forgot. Most important thing, or one of the most important things, because you can't really train compounds, you can't train cardio, you can't train combat if you don't have this kind of base foundation, which is of just mobility and like being pain-free ability. It's kind of like if you have like, for example, knee pain, you're not going to be able to squat or run or kick. Like you're not going to be able to do any of that. You're not, forget about that, you're not even going to be able to live life like just normally. SubhanAllah, right? If you have shoulder pain, you're not going to be able to do dips or push-ups or whatever movement, like even lifting stuff, like to go, whatever, right? So it's important to, it's literally like wajib for you to stop pushing, like you're kicking that can down the road of oh, I have this knee pain and like I don't know how to solve it, and like I tried to do, I looked up some YouTube videos before, but like I don't know, it didn't really help it much. I just let it rest, and then it got a little bit better, but then it got worse. Like, you're kicking down that can down the road, and you're not addressing it, and it's just gonna sit with you for the rest of, like, bro, you're young, bro. You're not even like 25, like, and you have like knee pain. Like, bro, what do you think when you turn 30, 40? When you have kids, like, you're gonna be absolutely fried, subhanAllah, right? Just take care of it right now. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, "Ightanim khamsan qabla khams." Take care of 5 before 5, right? Take care of 5 before 5. Your youth before your old age, your health before your sickness, your wealth before your poverty, your time before your business, your life before your death. SubhanAllah. And the Prophet, he also said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there's 2 great blessings, 2 blessings that my ummah, like my people, most people they'll lose advantage of. Like, they'll think they have a lot of it, and they'll be deceived into losing it. And SubhanAllah, is health and free time. Health and free time. These 2 are literally like the biggest gifts that we have, like, obviously besides like the Quran and Sunnah and deen, whatever, but like in terms of your health and your time, your free time. Those are like the biggest gifts ever. Time, you can never get it back. Health, once you lose it, class, like, it won't come back. Or you can kind of get it back a little bit, but like, there's a difference in health when you're young versus when you're old. Like, you're not gonna have that level when you're young. That's just the sunnatullah, right? That's just the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala operates, or like made the dunya, subhanAllah. So you must take care of it now. Like, if you preserve it now, you'll have it longer in the future, right? And health maxing, training for health is not just training for muscle. That's like the wrong kind of mindset to go about it. Muscle is a part of it, like, don't get me wrong, it's a part of it. But key point, it's a part of it. It is not the epitome of subhanAllah training, right? Training for strength and muscle, right? Training for cardio, training for combat, training for mobility. Once you have like all of those, you will be at an elite level. And then from there, like, you can go to, like, once you have a solid foundation in like all of those, like, basically, the compounds, the cardio, the combat, and the mobility, you can go into like whatever avenue you want. So if you want to, you can go Habibi. If you want to be more of like a MMA fighter, not like obviously like in the UFC or anything, but like, I don't know, if you want to be like a fighter, right, you can train like more like combat, and like focus more on combat. If you want to be more of like a calisthenics athlete, then you can start training more like, statics, dynamics, and whatever skills you're trying to learn, or even just weighted calisthenics, trying to get your numbers up. You can, if you want to be cardio, if you want to be like an Ironman athlete, okay, then you can start like training, running, swimming, biking, right, and going long, increasing your mileage and all that type of stuff. Like, from there you have options. Basketball player, you can work on your vertical. You can work on your shot and your what do you call it? Your technique, your dribbling, your shooting, all that type of stuff, right? You get to from there, like, having this kind of foundation, like this, you can say prophetic build foundation, like training to be like Prophet ﷺ. I'll call it the prophetic build. Having this prophetic build foundation, then you can go into whatever avenue you want, right? You can still try to be more general and holistic. You can go, right? That's like the beauty of it. Like, just about having these foundations, they make you like a beast at basically anything that you want to do, right? But these foundations are the most important, subhanAllah. So that's the key point. Train to be like the Prophet ﷺ, to train for deen. Don't just think that training for muscle and strength is the end-all be-all for training. It's not. You have cardio and you have combat, and lock in.